Hey everybody, the story that I chose to read is Tell Me a Story Mama by Angela Johnson. It's about the little girl. She wants her mama to tell her bedtime stories about when she was young. So she asks to tell her any old story. So that's where my first point and sticky note come in. Just any old story. How about the time that you lived in the little white house across the field from that mean old lady? Meanest woman I ever known too, baby. That's mama talking. She was so mean that she used to holler out her window at you and Aunt Jessie when you passed her house every morning. You weren't afraid of her, though. No, sir, I was not. This reminds me of me and my sister. My little sister's name is Jessie, too. And we used to always get in trouble together. And instead of the mean old lady across the field hollering out the window, it was my granny hollering out at us because we were getting in trouble. So, and that kind of leads into the second part. One day, she scared Aunt Jessie so bad by letting her bulldog out to bark at y'all that Aunt Jessie cried all the way home. And you went back and threw mud on her white picket fence. I sure had a temper. So this is kind of the opposite way. Little sister Jessie being scared was probably me, and my actual sister Jessie was taking up for me, because that's usually what she did, was take up for me. So my second sticky note, is Grandmama made you apologize, but she kissed you hard on the head and gave you an extra sweet roll after dinner that night. Your grandma makes the best sweet rolls. So I thought that Grandma probably didn't disapprove of what she was doing, but she wanted the little girl to be polite enough, the mama to be polite enough to go apologize to the mean old lady. So my actual third sticky note is Grandma is Grandma gonna stay here forever, Mama? Just stay here and be Grandmama forever to me? She won't be here forever, baby, but long enough for you to never forget how much she loves you. This makes me think of my granny. My granny passed a couple years ago, and she practically raised us, and I used to tell her all the time that she was gonna live forever. So, I started crying when I read it the first time, and it's still getting me a little choked up. But then this is just Mama reassuring. More stories of Mama's childhood. And then my next sticky note point will be, why did Grandmama and Granddaddy send you and Aunt Jessie off to St. Louis when you were both younger than me, alone on a train? They had to work, and your great Aunt Rosetta only was lonely for children. Hers were all grown up. Jessie and me kept her company for a few months. So I wondered at first why they really sent them, if it was actually for work or some other reason. Maybe it was just lack of child care for them to work. So that's what I was thinking there. And this next one is it all right to cry? It's all right to cry though, right, Mama? If you feel like it, it's okay. I feel like it sometimes. Like when my best friend Corey moved away. I did cry then. I bet Corey cried too. I bet he did. Would you cry if I moved away, Mama? Yes, I will. So this makes me think of when my boys grow up and start moving out, how sad I'm going to be. We're going to be so lonely. Grandmama cried when you moved away, Mama. She cried so hard that everybody at the airport looked at her. And Granddaddy brought her flowers and a candy bar. I remember. So my parents weren't really sad when I moved out. When me and my husband got married, they weren't really sad. I think, if anything, they were probably more relieved that they didn't have an extra person in their house. So. And then it ends with, I like it when you tell me stories, Mama. Tell me more tomorrow. Okay, baby, more stories tomorrow. So even though she thanked her mama for the stories, it was a little girl telling the mama all the stories of her own childhood. And I thought it was really cute and really sweet that she'd heard the stories and loved them enough to actually learn the stories. That was Tell Me a Story, Mama by Angela Johnson.